Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel. Finally, Kody defies judge's order in court again, refusing to return land to other wives. Robin Brown criticizes her husband Kody for wanting a second wife. Season 20 of Sister Wives is off to a tumultuous start for viewers. Tensions between Kody Brown and his current wife, Robin, are already building as the Brown family gets ready to make a comeback on TLC screens. Viewers have seen Kody manage life with several spouses throughout the years. However, the family dynamic has changed as a result of recent separations. Since Christine, Janelle, and Meri have all divorced Kody, he and Robin are the only pair living together. The potential addition of a second sister bride is the main topic of discussion in the teaser for the upcoming season. Robin's response indicates that she is not at all on board with the concept, even though Kody has entertained it. The tone for what seems to be a season full of emotional tension, miscommunications, and candid confessions is established by their chat over a dinner date. In the trailer for Season 20, Kody makes fun of Robin. In the teaser for Sister Wives Season 20, Kody Brown reveals a new side. He makes fun of Robin for the first time, referring to her as the wife who prevents him from engaging in any naughty behavior. Then he laughed mischievously. Is there problems in their paradise, since this was the first time he made fun of his wife? Conversely, Kody is attempting to patch things up with Christine, Janelle, and Meri in one-on-one conversations. Additionally, he gets an email from a woman who wants to become a member of the family. As they ultimately wrap up the Coyote Pass chapter, Robin will battle Meri and Janelle. TLC will debut the next season on September 28, 2025, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Sister Wives, Robin's irate response to Kody's confession. Kody recently voiced his worries about his relationship with Robin in a video. Something so unique may be jeopardized, he explained. He makes a suggestion that he might think about taking a different wife for a reason he knows Robin wouldn't entirely agree with. Robin cuts him off before he can say anything more, stressing that there is no guarantee of success. Kody then acknowledges that sexual attraction serves as his primary motivation. He acknowledges that his interest in a new partner at this point in his life would mostly be based on how attractive she is. However, he asserts that he also desires an emotional connection. Robin swiftly highlights how flimsy this logic appears to be. This is the very worst reason, she tells him, emphasizing that he is not entirely aware of his appearance. Robin doesn't hold back during a confession. Kody was described by her as a bit of a pig. Over any fleeting attraction, she cherishes their emotional connection. For fans, this scene emphasizes the difference between Robin's need for stability and deep connection and Kody's impetuous, physical approach. Kody's previous relationships with his ex-wives are also mentioned in the plot. Although some viewers might find the prospect of a second wife intriguing, Christine has already voiced concerns that this choice could backfire. On the debut of Special Forces, Kody Brown's sexist remark becomes a major source of controversy. Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, is accustomed to provoking controversy, but this time he's exchanging the drama of polygamy for military exercises. The celebrity recently appeared in Special Forces, World's Toughest Test Season 4. Even though he overcame some difficult obstacles, his comments attracted as much interest as his performance. He got a larger platform and a louder microphone for his most recent TV project, but is he making good use of them? The seasoned reality TV star acknowledged that some of his viewpoints may sound sexist, and he wasn't incorrect. Kody gave viewers a lot to think about, from his concept of what makes a man strong to his conviction that women crave love above all else. His time in Special Forces is demonstrating that his mental toughness is more important than his physical stamina. His remarks immediately stoked discussion among followers who were already familiar with his background. Kody's Special Forces stunt concerned Robin Brown. Robin didn't want him to enter Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, because she worries about everyone, according to Sister Wives actress Kody Brown. He revealed that before he approached her, she had avoided talking about it for about 2 months. I know you're going to do it, Robin acknowledged. I am unable to stop you. Although Kody acknowledged that the choice may have been stupid, he claimed to have enjoyed the challenge and considered it spiritual, as it inspired him to maintain his fitness. The couple often avoids watching their own show, but surprisingly, Robin now wants to see him on screen. Robin will watch, Kody said, but his ex-wives probably won't. Kody's most sexist remarks about sister wives in special forces. Kody informed cameras early in the season debut that he believes men and women have different emotional requirements. According to him, women want to be loved, and men want to be respected. He reiterated that respect is a given and that he doesn't care if people love him. Viewers found this comment to be both direct and out of date. He continued after that. To do hard things is to be good at being a man, Kody said at another point. His concept of manhood, which was centered only on being tough and proving oneself, fit in perfectly with the Special Forces environment. However, it also mirrored the strict gender norms he had previously expressed. Completing these difficult tasks was more important to Kody than simply completing the course. It served to strengthen his reputation as a capable masculine leader. Kody went on to say that his kids were a major source of inspiration for him. He claimed he wanted to dispel the notion that he was an old man and show them that he could still do the impossible. He had the opportunity to combat doubt and aging through the show. He believed that demonstrating perseverance to his children was just as important as making it through the program. But in the performance, was he even truthful? No is the response. When Judge Alan Norris, his voice weary with the frustration of presiding over a case that had become less about property law and more about pathological control, delivered his final, unambiguous order for Kody Brown to sign the necessary deeds to return the plots of land on Coyote Pass to his former wives, Janelle, Christine, and Meri, the entire gallery seemed to hold its breath. The order was clear, the deadline had passed, and the consequences for contempt were explicitly laid out. Yet, what happened next was not an acquiescence born of legal fear, but an act of pure, theatrical defiance. Kody Brown, his posture rigid and his eyes burning with a mixture of self-righteous fury and profound victimhood, looked directly at the judge and uttered the words that would cement his legacy not as a patriarch, but as a renegade against his own family. "No, Your Honor. I will not." In that single, stark refusal, Kody did not merely defy a court order, he symbolically set fire to the very land that was meant to be the promised land for his plural family, transforming it from a symbol of shared destiny into a monument to his own ego and the ultimate breakdown of their collective dream. This final act of defiance was not an impulsive outburst but the culmination of a years-long trajectory where Kody's identity became inextricably linked to the land itself. Coyote Pass was never just a piece of property, it was the physical manifestation of the Brown family's principle, purchased with the stated intention of building a communal compound where each wife and her children would have a home, connected by shared values and a unified purpose. As the family structure disintegrated, first with the emotional departure of Christine, followed by Janelle's strategic separation, and Meri's lingering but disconnected presence, the land became the last bargaining chip, the final token of power Kody believed he held. To understand the gravity of his refusal, one must see that in his mind, signing over those deeds was not about complying with a fair and equitable distribution of assets. It was an admission of total defeat, a symbolic surrender of his headship, and an acknowledgement that the grand vision he had sold for years was a failure. The land, therefore, became a proxy for his authority. Giving it up meant erasing the last tangible proof of his planned legacy, and for a man whose public persona is so deeply invested in the image of a visionary leader, that was an existential threat far greater than any legal sanction the judge could impose. The legal ramifications of such a brazen contempt of court are severe and immediate. Judge Norris, faced with a direct challenge to his authority, would have had little choice but to act swiftly. The scene that likely unfolded was one of stunned silence, followed by the grim formalities of the law. Bailiffs moving closer, the gavel falling with a definitive crack, and the words held in contempt echoing through the room. Kody's refusal would instantly transform him from a litigant in a civil dispute into a defendant in a criminal matter. The penalties could range from substantial daily fines until compliance is achieved to, in the most extreme scenario, incarceration. His legal team, undoubtedly anticipating this possibility, would have likely argued mitigating circumstances, perhaps a claim of unclear title, financial encumbrances, or even a last-ditch appeal on some procedural ground. But to a judge who has already issued a clear and final order, such arguments would ring hollow, seen as the bad faith tactics they are. The spectacle of a reality television star being led away in handcuffs for refusing to give his ex-wives their fair share of a barren Arizona plot would be a humiliating nadir, but for Kody, the calculus seems to have shifted from avoiding humiliation to controlling the narrative. In his mind, becoming a martyr to a corrupt system that is destroying his family may hold more appeal than being seen as a man who simply gave in. Beyond the legal stage, the emotional impact on the wives, both former and current, would be cataclysmic, yet likely confirming their hardest-won conclusions. For Janelle, the pragmatic planner who invested her own financial resources into the family with the explicit goal of building a home on that land, Kody's action would be the ultimate betrayal of their practical partnership. It would prove that her faith in their shared financial future was catastrophically misplaced, and that the man she built a life with was willing to destroy the asset out of sheer spite, harming his own financial future in the process, just to prevent her from claiming what was rightfully hers. For Christine, who has boldly built a new and joyful life elsewhere, the news would likely be met with a sad, knowing shake of the head. It would serve as final, irrefutable proof that the man she left was incapable of the basic decency required for an amicable separation, validating her decision to escape a dynamic she famously described as making her feel like she was sitting on the sidelines. For Meri, the response is more complex, tangled in a web of hope long deferred. Witnessing Kody's defiance might finally sever the last, fragile thread of possibility for a reconciliation that the public has known for years is never going to happen. To see him fight so viciously to keep her, and the others, from obtaining their share would be a cruel confirmation of her irrelevance in his life. The most telling reaction, however, would be that of Robin, the last wife standing. Publicly, she would likely be portrayed as the distressed and surprised partner, perhaps even pleading with Kody to comply for the sake of the family's peace. But the private reality would be far more complicated. Robin has long been perceived by the other wives and the audience as the favored wife, the one whose needs and financial security were consistently prioritized. If Kody is holding on to all the land, it is not for the benefit of the departed wives, it is for the unit that remains, himself and Robin. His defiance, therefore, could be interpreted as the ultimate act of provision for Robin and her children, ensuring that the entire asset remains under his control and, by extension, hers. This dynamic would only deepen the chasm between her and the other wives.